Baltimore has many staples that we hold near and dear to our hearts. One of those is Under Armour, and another is Shake and Bake. And it's nothing like wearing a fit that's built for a good time at a place that you know you'll have one. And today, we plan to have one. That's if we can make it past Lord Donnie.
Well, look who finally showed. You here for the lessons, or you here just to model that jacket?
I mean, if I can look good in this jacket while I skate, that sounds like a win to me.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, but have fun with these.
Come on, man, you do this every time, bro. 15? I'm good with the ones I got, man.
Yeah, I like that jacket. Might gotta get me one of those. Yo, what's up? What are you doing?
All right, here I come, bro.
Help me.
What's your size? Size 10, bro.
Now that we passed Lord Donnie, it's time for me and the crew to get our moves together for Charm City Skate so we can go ahead and show off at Fan Fest this year. And remember, whether you're working on your backward skate or a professional in the middle of the circle, we just here to have fun. So from DTLR to y'all, welcome to Baltimore.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Dev Dooley. It's been a while, I know, but we are back, and I really just want to jump in and start showing you guys how I do some of the projects that I work on, how they come about, how I plan them, and do better on executing some of like the BTS of what I do. I'm horrible because I'm always so focused on like directing or shooting or whatever that is, whatever I have to do for that day or that project. So for this specific project, as you guys saw in the video, it was for Under Armour and CIAA for 2025. So we shot this back in February or January of 2025. I'm currently working on the 2026 Under Armour CIAA content, so maybe we'll break that down in the future. But I really kind of wanted to jump into what my pre-production process is. And I'll show some of the shots. Like I said, we're not going to really get into like lighting breakdowns and things like that, but really just showing you guys how I prepare for one of these shoots, the equipment that I put together. Actually, you know what, let's just jump straight into it, and I'll show you guys exactly what we do, or what I do. So you guys can see here is I'm right inside of Milanote. If you've never heard of it, it's an awesome app. It allows you to create these very interactive mood boards or concepts of that you want to come up with for anything creative, and it actually has a few built-in templates as well. So before I show you my board, I'll just show you how it generally works. As you can see right here, if I just click board and drag that on here, I can just click and name it test board. And when we jump inside of here, it allows me to choose a template. So for my film guys, photography guys especially, or photography, film, director of photography, DPs, it really will help out. So it has, you know, film pre-production, film mood board, film storyboard, film shot list, weekly plan. It has more templates for you to choose from. And I'll just show you a film mood board real quick. So if we click on mood board, you see it has literal color hex codes that you can use for the colors that you're looking for in your project, photos that you can drop in, comments that you can drop underneath your photos, and also hard videos as well as video links that you can post. Let's look at the film shot list. The film shot list is very dope. You can drop your photos directly onto these card slots and update all of this information, and it'll keep it very clean for you. You see they have here built-in shots required, scene 1, equipment that'll be used for each shot, and so on and so forth across. And then my favorite one is the film pre-production, which is essentially what the board looks like that we'll be seeing today. But again, if you haven't checked out Milanote before, I would definitely go check them out. No, this video is not sponsored by Milanote. This is just something that I've seen in my time across YouTube and watching videos and watching other directors and DPs. This is one of the things that I saw that they use, and I tried it out and I really liked it. And Also, Milanote gives you a certain amount of space, so you can make one and just make one board. And then if you don't want to pay for it, you can just delete that board and make a new one. But I kind of like to have them saved. If you have, you know, the funds for it, it's definitely worth looking into. Paying monthly, or if you could afford the yearly and just knock it out, it really will help you when it comes down to being able to access your mood board on the run, while on set, or even just being able to jot quick ideas into an existing mood board. So with all of that, we can jump back out and I'll show you guys how my Milanote is set up. You'll see up here I kind of have like open projects, things that I'm working on or currently adding to. I'm going to delete this test board, and then we have some references down here. This little middle section is literally for all inspiration and reference shots, and then all these videos down here are projects that I've completed. So once I'm done with the board, I just move it down there and then keep it going from there. So we'll just look for CIAA. I'm going to change the name to 25 just so that way I don't get confused with that. And if we click into the board, immediately you'll just see all of the like the shot schedule or the actual shooting schedule for the day, some equipment that I felt like we were going to need. We shot the project on Red Komodo and Komodo X. So let's just run through this with what I use. And I didn't fill out every single thing. You guys have the option, of course, to fill everything out or not. But based on what I did here, I kept the ideas one empty, but I went heavy in the mood board section of this. In here, I made sure that I included the actual photos of the location that we were going to be shooting at. So we were shooting at Shake and Bake, which is a historic skating rink here in the city of Baltimore, and just based on the way that Shake and Bake is laid out, I really wanted to shoot it in the style of like ATL, with the colors and things like that. And as of late, or in my lifetime, there have only been like 2 big skating movies, and that's Roll Bounce when I was in high school and ATL when I was in high school too. Wow. I don't want to talk about what year they came out, but early 2000s movies. But the vibe was just centered around retro coloring and fun at the skating rink, honestly. So that's exactly what I wanted to recreate here. I didn't want the lighting to be flat or anything like that. So I literally went through YouTube and found some of my favorite lighting, like the red on T.I.'s face here while he's sitting at the skate rental booth, which would be right here. The lights in the ceilings, how they have the blues here and the blues in some of these shots. And then I also just grabbed some of the actual shots that I know I wanted to capture as far as people skating in unison. So, you know, their feet all lined up, them all skating, maybe matching clothing. I love this interaction. If you guys remember, if you've ever seen Roll Bounce, you know the whole "you got a size 17 back there, B-Nod." That's a classic line from that movie. But I wanted to have the new film have that type of interaction between our main character and the guy who's working the skate booth. So I took a bunch of screenshots from YouTube and the videos that I watched and just dragged them in. This was actually one of my favorite shots that I wanted to do, but you need an actual diopter to place in front of your lens so that way you can have 2 subjects in focus at once. I think because of one, I didn't have a diopter, and we didn't have time that day, I think, to kind of execute this shot. And it also, this shot right here has a lot of space in between the subjects. I would say probably like at least 10 to 15 feet or so, and we were working in like a smaller space. So I kind of just scrapped that, but I did want, that is the original idea that I had. And then this is some other content that New Balance has shot inside of the same location, but it was a little bit different. It didn't really work for what we were going for, but it is a good example of just showing, you know, feet, you know, and shoe shots and things like that. So that's why I included that there. So if we go back out of the mood board, we can see that you can literally have the actual video links from the YouTubes. If you are sending this to a client and they are not familiar with the reference that you're sending, you can just send it off to them and they can click everything inside of here. I have a folder that says production cost here, which is, what is this, 2,500, 4 and 4. So we were right under $3,000 basically. I work for DTLR, so I was directing the project and I DP'd a little bit, but I was also able to hire another DP named Taylor Boy Nate, as well as his camera and some lights and equipment and things like that. And then also Dan and Michael, which are two homies of mine, I was able to bring them on set and have them do some BTS, some PA stuff, like moving things around if we needed to, and just being extra hands when we needed. So it is cool to have that included, to keep your client all the way up to date with how you are, or how you plan to spend the budget for the project. I see here we also had a few things that I knew would need to be purchased, or that I wanted to be purchased. I actually got one of these lenses and and I already had the battery, but I wanted to get another one, but it's okay. But if there's anything that you need to purchase, it's always cool to have that in. And then also when you're thinking about how you want your film to be shot, for instance, like with this being in a roller skating rink, I wanted it to have that like halation, pro misty type of feel. So I wanted to make sure that we had that available for some of the shots, just for more stylized things like that. What else do we have here? Easy, we have the date and time. I was also able to put in here an actual shooting schedule for the entire day. So, you know, crew arrive at 8:30. We set up from 8:30 to 9:30. You'll see here the shoot should be done around 2:30, 3 o'clock. Making sure that there's time for photos, because in every campaign you always want to make sure that you are giving each team ample time that they need to get the assets that you're going to need for the entire project. So I had to make sure that while I was planning this, we have time blocks to film, and then we have time blocks specifically for photos, wide and vertical, horizontal and vertical, to make sure that, again, we have every single thing that we need, because these photos are going to be used across, or photos and videos will be used across a number of different mediums. So advertising digitally, like on social media, or advertising on YouTube, which would be like widescreen, or all of the different type of, if they're doing video ads around the city or anything like that, I'll show you later. But there are different, you'll have to edit these things to different sizes and things like that. So you just want to make sure you have a bunch of different footage, so that way you have something that works in every scenario. I do have in here an actual shot list. So I put all the equipment here on the left of everything that we were looking to use. The Ronin RS3. I wanted to use a tilt-to-float, but we didn't. We had two Komodos, a Komodo X, Manfrotto tripod, some Godox tube lights, Amaran 300C. We had two of those. The Aperture Nova. We had a boom mic, boom pole, and headphones. Well, actually, that was our plan to have it, but because we shot with like a tighter crew, we actually just used some. I want to say it was the Hollyland wireless microphones, because they're very easy to hide. So we used some of those. I put the prism lens split diopter there. I had the anamorphic lens kit on there, which is what we were running on the Komodo X for like all of the skating shots. The Nucleus Nano wireless focus, which we didn't have. And then also make sure in your equipment you make sure that you put space as far as like a not memory cards, hard drives. A lot of people, I feel like when they budget, they don't budget for hard drives, and we're at a space now where memory is getting more expensive, and in order for you to have a drive that does not corrupt or doesn't run super slow, you want to make sure that you have a pretty decent one. So I would always make sure that you are letting the client know that you will need a budget for the drive to keep the files on, or I always just include that. I always include that with the pricing, just to make sure that there's room for space. If the client wants the footage, then you can work that out how you want to, but I always put that there. So we put all of our equipment there, and then we ran through all of our scenes and just tracked them out. Scene 1, wide shot, close up, the things that we wanted, all the way down till scene 5. I did not use these as I showed you these earlier in the template list, so technically I could just take those out and get rid of those. But yeah, that's pretty much how I have been using my Milanote for planning out my video shoots. I can show you guys a different board before we get out of here. Make sure I got enough time. Before we get out of here, I can show you, like, I have this one, some bait references and some bait videos. I believe these are from, some of these are Gaku Lange, I think, or no, these might be actually off of Babe's channel. They have a lot of dope stuff on their channel, but I watch a lot of Gaku Lange stuff. Dope photographer, videographer. He's out in Japan, I believe. He shoots a lot of stuff for Babe and other brands as well. Adidas is one of them, I'm sure. But I just used this board literally for a brand that I like. I like how they shoot their stuff, so I literally just got a bunch of things from Babe and put them all inside of here. And then I also have like this one, which is clothing inspo, which I worked on the other day, and I'll be constantly kind of adding things to this, which is, as I think about fashion films and whether it be high-end fashion, street fashion, streetwear, whatever it is, I just kind of went on frame set, which we'll talk about more in depth in probably another video. But I went on frame set and added a bunch of things that kind of just caught my eye, so that way the next time I'm shooting something and I want to frame my stuff properly, I can kind of just pull this board up, maybe grab a few shots depending on what the brand is, see which one works best, and do something really dope. Even something like this one for photography. I think this could be a cool photo that could actually be a series. So whatever it is, maybe it's a shoe series, and somebody's they're in different scenarios, but their top half is completely disconnected. I have no idea, but I just wanted to save it because it caught my eye. Some of this stuff is just color palette. Some of this is like I said, the framing, but how the people are positioned, like these two people walking here. And then some stuff is just fly. I think this is pretty dope. It's like, okay, he's in a cool green outfit in a upscale environment. I like that. So I keep this board open. I love this shot actually here with the Air Forces too. So I'm gonna keep building this board. It's basically going to be like a newer version of Pinterest for me, which I still use as well. But I like the blending of Milanote and frame set, just because FrameSet has like these moving clips, these GIFs that I can use and drag directly into my project. So that's that. What else do I have? Outfit displays. So different Instagram videos that I've come across and I found, I'll save those. If I like those, I can always come back and watch the video for inspiration. And again, some other boards where I've kind of done the same thing and just use these as references to when going into the projects that I was looking to film. So let's actually go over to Premiere. So just kind of scrolling through some of this footage, you'll see it. We shot this is all the Komodo X footage. This is all stuff that we shot with that Pro Mist filter. It's not all colored down. Let's see here, take this up. It's not all colored down, but we have some of the guys from the top tier shiners. Wanted to make sure, of course, that we captured some brand hits, so always wanted to go, you always go wide, medium, close, and then macro, of course, if you need it. So establishing shot, showing more of where you are, and then like a really intimate shot of what you're focusing on. For this stuff, I wanted to make sure that we were shooting some close-ups of the actual clothing and things like that without it being too forced. So it kind of just makes its way into the final piece. Now, also, when I say forced, I mean clearly everyone is wearing Under Armour, so maybe that's forced, but I didn't want it to be clear by me, like by me type of feel for it. We are in Baltimore. Under Armour is its hub is here, and the city embraces it, so it's not necessarily unusual to see a group of people all wearing some sort of Under Armour. So it worked out for this piece. And let's see here, we can just scroll through some of the shots. I think these are the shots of Ant kind of just like getting his photos taken. So this is when Nate was just getting some of the BTS and just whatever we could use for something, right? And you can see the difference between the color grades as well between these two shots. But close-ups of the shoes, logo hits, things like that we could actually pull and use into or put into something else down the line. And let's see what else we got over here. Here we go. So the one thing that we did, because we were not able to light the entire skating rink, and yeah, this stuff is a little shaky. I was on skates while I was filming this, so don't judge me. But in a lot of these shots, I did have like the Ronin and the Tilta like handheld whatever thing with it. But because we weren't able to light the entire skating rink, because that just would have been a lot of money, a lot of work, a lot of time, we had to go with creating some type of contrasted light. So I think I turned half of the lights off there and kept half on. And then you'll see in the beginning of that clip that we placed one of the aperture lights kind of just back here. You see in this corner up here, just to give us again some more contrast when we were actually skating around. But also, yeah, you can see that we had that the Pro Mist filters on as well, because that was the look that I was going for. But let's see here. Okay, so here we go, going back to that mood board that I put together from ATL of just like some of the shots that I wanted to make sure that I was capturing with them all together. So let's see if I have some better shots of that. Let's see. I mean, these guys are like really dope. Super dope cats. This is Vic. Pop the skate off. A lot of stuff like that. I did not know exactly how the edit was going to come together, so I just knew that we needed to get a bunch of different stuff to be able to montage or make the best set of montages possible. But we did end up getting some very cool shots. Let me see here. This guy right here was so cool. I mean, he was one of the older guys, but he was just like, he was schooling everybody. He was schooling everybody out there, which I thought was super dope. The other thing I did was at some point in here, I think I could zoom out. I gave everybody like an opportunity to skate by themselves. This is actually the shots of us going in. Yeah, so here we go. So like, this is some more of the shots going around. I think the only thing that I really wish we would have been able to do that we didn't do with this project was hire 50 extras and let them skate as well. Of course, it would have been a lot more budget to feed everybody. It would have been a little bit more of a headache, or a lot bit more of a headache to keep track of 50 people to make sure that they're all quiet and, you know, not getting bored and things like that. But I think it just would have upped the overall quality of the, you know, film. But the other thing about it is like there was this feeling that I kind of wanted to get across too, of them having access to the rink and skating on their own, just the guys, like as if this is where they come to practice and just be themselves, and it's essentially the vibe that I was able to catch. I feel like if you skate, if you've ever been skating, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, where it just allows you to be free, try things, do things you've never done before, and catch a vibe. And this is the best part about skating as well right here, is there's no age limit to this. This is, the older generation, I'll say, the true Unk generation, even though they be calling me Unk now, which is crazy, but the true Unk generation and like a younger generation having a good time through skating, man. It was very, very fun, and that's really just what I wanted the piece to give off, was just the freedom of that. The one other thing that we didn't talk about before we get out of here is that the script that I put together, I worked with, I think I probably worked through ChatGPT, if I'm being honest. I kind of knew where I wanted to go with it. I don't have the exact prompt and everything in my back and forth going up right now. It's probably like lost in the sauce. But I put the script in here as well because the back and forth with Donnie, I kind of wanted them to be able to see that beforehand. I did not want them to improv that conversation. I really wanted that conversation to be something that they could practice. So I made sure that I gave them their time, and Donnie gave him his time to, be the star of that little moment right there and kind of be funny. But yeah, I think that there's a lot of different stuff that you can do inside of Milanote, bringing everything back. And yeah, I just wanted to show you guys how I use a bunch of different pieces of this one thing or a bunch of different pieces of Milanote, or things that are available inside of Milanote, how I bring those things together or use those things together to bring a real piece to life. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you guys want to see more content like this, be sure to hit that like button. A subscribe goes a long way. And if you made it this far, I truly appreciate you. And until the next one, it's your boy Dev Dooley. Peace out.